Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? My weekly question before I go any further is, do you want me to get field 9 over there, which has maize in it? Let me just get rid of that one. Field 9, which has got maize in it, or do you want me to get field 12, which has got grass in it? We're going to need a bit more grass, but also I don't think it would hurt to have another maize field. And given the time scale that we've got left, I'm not sure that we're going to be able to really plant very many fields. I'm going to try planting one now. That's why I got the cultivator here. And I'm just going off to get a front weight for this one, so that then we can start cultivating that field in there. So yes, do you want field 9 with maize, or do you want field 12 with grass? It is your vote, it's your game. Head down below and let me know what you think. Incidentally, I just recorded this episode. Literally, I have only just finished recording it. And when I finished recording it, I realised I hadn't actually recorded any vocal whatsoever. So we're now doing this a second time round. And I've actually thought of a couple of improvements to make compared to the first time round, but this is not something I want to be in the habit of doing, because it just feels like I'm repeating myself, even if you don't actually hear me repeating myself. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, it does get a little bit frustrating when things like that happen. So what I'm doing is I'm going to cultivate that field there, and I already know now that part of that field won't be able to be cultivated because the field boundaries are way off. They are completely out. So there's a big chunk up the top that we're not actually going to be able to cultivate, but we will get to that. I'm going to use this one here, the homemade type weight. We'll go and hitch that one in, and then we will carry on with our whole crop harvest down the bottom. And let me just come in here and collect this one. There we go. And once we've done that, we also had something come up, which I don't know if we're going to see it again or not, but it said low grass. So I'm not sure if the mixed feeder mod that we've got in this game, if it requires grass or if it requires hay. And by the way, that's the field that we're looking at buying. It's that one there, or the maize field, which is the long one down here. We just carry on round. Yeah, that maize field is that longish one over there. It's a bit of an odd shaped field, but that's the other one that we're looking at buying. I can't buy that little field there to sort of allow us to cultivate most of this one here, because it costs 50 grand. It's a lot of money. So the land here is a bit expensive, so we're going to be using the money that we get from tipping some of the silage that we're making into the biogas plant. And I'm thinking we might also chainsaw down a few trees and do a bit with that as well. So my plan for today is we're going to start doing some cultivating, and then once I've got the cultivating started, we're going to go back to our silage harvest over there. And when we do our silage harvest, we'll sort of finish up, and then off screen tomorrow, between now and next episode, I will... No, I don't want to lower that side. I want to change, and I want to lower that one. There we go. Right, so yeah, I will finish that field if I don't get it finished during the episode. And why does it keep changing that? Not quite sure. Anyway, let's bring that back up. There we go. So yeah, I'll finish that field off screen if I don't get to finish it today. I don't think I probably will. And I will finish putting it into the silage there, and then I will clamp down that silage clamp. Now, up here, we've just got to go in a straight line up here, because that little bit off to the side, it thinks that we don't own that. So, I'm going to climb up here. This, look at that beast of a tractor. I know it's an old Deutz, and I'll say again, I think I've said it in a previous episode somewhere, that I did drive an old Deutz many years ago, and it wasn't like this one. It had a very steep sloped bonnet. It had no radiator. It was an air-cooled machine, which is a little bit unusual for a tractor. Normally they've got a big radiator in them as well. There we go. We don't own that field, so I'll just lift up. And we've got to sort of come across in a straight line from here, wherever it is that we don't own the field. So here, can we go okay here? Yeah, I think we're all right here. And it's trying to drag me down the hill a little bit. So I can come straight across here. I can't go up much higher than this. And I get over to almost the gateway, and there's a little bit of a kick. It's alright, we'll just leave that sort of section there. We don't really have much choice in the matter, to be honest. Yeah, see, there's a little bit there where it says that we don't own the field, and then it comes back to allowing us to do it. So shouldn't really reverse with a cultivator in the ground. That is not the way to do it. There, and then we can come up to here. So I did discover that in the last episode, and so that is a little bit quicker than I managed to do things last time. So we'll carry on round this field. Yeah, so what was I saying? I was the Deutz tractor that I used to use was an air-cooled one, and we had nothing but trouble with it. It was a horrific machine. It really was. It was absolutely dreadful to use. And the only reason I'm saying is because I've had a few people tell me they really like Deutz machines. Now, I did try to get this last time so that I didn't squash it all down, but at the same time, I cultivated it. Because if I squash it down, it kind of goes a bit odd, and then you can't get rid of it. Yeah, see, it's not letting me get rid of it anyway. That little bit of crop is just going to stay there, or it's going to squat flat like that. Oh well, there's not a lot I can do about that. So I'll go once around, and then I'll just do a bit up and down each end of the field. And when I've been doing cultivating with a rigid mounted cultivator on 3-point linkage, it is actually good practice to, when you go around a sharp corner, lift the machine out the ground, turn, and then lower it back down again. You still want to eradicate any wheel marks, so you don't want to do it too much. So I am aware that I'm not doing it quite correctly as I come around these corners, but if I do lift it out and do it completely right, we will be here forever. We will be here for a very, very long time, and I figured you'd probably want me to get a move on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do a little bit extra, and I'm going to go up and down the ends of the field a couple of times, and then we can let the hired help carry on with this, and we can get back to our silage. Right, I have gone round the field a couple of times, and I have gone up and down both ends. So now the hired help should be able to carry on. I know the hired help is a little bit slow on his feet and not too bright, so you do have to help him out quite a bit. But once he gets going, he's alright. He's an industrious worker, and he will just keep chugging along without need for breaks or holiday or anything else. So, you know, there's a lot to be said for him, even if you do have to help him out more than you'd like sometimes. So he's going to carry on and do that. And we are going to rush over there, and we're going to carry on with our silage. I'd like to get some more in there. And yeah, I said that I had recorded the entire episode. I got most of that field finished, actually, because I did most of this off camera. But then I thought, actually, you know what, we'll do a little bit of cultivating on here, because it's probably the only cultivating we're going to get done. We're running out of time, ladies and gentlemen. We are running out of time before FS17 comes along. Once FS17 comes along, I'm transferring over onto the FS17 maps, and apart from an occasional visit, maybe, I don't even know if I'll do an occasional visit, I might not even do it, we're probably not going to come back to FS15. You know, we'll be on FS17 and exploring all sorts of bright, colourful, wonderful new things that we're not going to need to worry about. So we're not going to need to worry about this map, which means, yeah, it's going to be the end of an era, an absolute end of an era. And so it's very exciting that we've got the new game coming along. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to back down here and drop the trailer right there, and then we can change it over. So yeah, it's unlikely that I'm going to play this game again. I might very occasionally just do one episode, just for, you know, old time's sake, just to say hi, you know, this is what we used to do back in the day. But for the most part, it's going to be FS17 stuff. So, what do we got on here? Right, that's on auto, going round. That's all good. Right, we'll let that one carry on there, and then we'll come up with the tractor, we'll hitch on, and then we can start following it round. Come up here. There we go. Right, if I back this one in, it doesn't look like we're going to get the grass warning come up. It just came up with the mixer thing, saying that it was low grass. So, I want to finish the silage. That's sort of a priority for me. But once the silage is finished, we are going to test to see if we can just put grass into that thing rather than having to do hay. If we can, it's going to save us a lot of time. My childhood, I did was involved in quite a lot of haymaking on and off over the years, and I've always got a lot of happy memories with haymaking. I love making hay. I love the smell of the hay, the smell of the small old tractors that we used to use on the turners, on the hay bob, and so on, the tedders, you would call them in some countries. I love just a slight smell of grease and oil with the tractors sort of mingled with the hay as you were doing all the turning and that. It's just, it's some very powerful memories for me, and sometimes the smell of it brings back all of these memories as well. It's absolutely amazing. So I love haymaking, and I particularly like doing it in a game because it is quite close to accurate for real life. The only difference is that you don't have to turn the hay 3 times, you've only got to do it once. Now, I'm aware that in some places of the world, I believe in like the southern states, you mow it, you turn it once, and that's all you need to do, because it's so hot that everything dries out really rapidly. But here in the UK, typically you would turn it 3 times. Sometimes you'd have to do it 4 or 5 times, but typically 3 turns, and then you could row it up. So that's the only real difference, is that with this game you've only got to ted it once, and then it turns straight to hay and you can row it up. Other than that, it's quite accurate. It's, things progress much the same as they would when you're actually making hay in real life. And so I really do enjoy making hay in this game. It is one of my favourite activities. But as I have done it on every map that I've ever played, and every map that I've recorded as well, I've done it on all of the... I've done it several times in the time-lapse stuff. I've done it in the new time-lapse, I've done it on Melbury Estate. I've also only just done it on Sandy Bay. It was one of the first things we did. So I might not on this map. If we only need to use grass, then I won't make hay. I'll just put fresh grass into that mixer, and we won't worry about actually getting... Right, I've got to try and let this thing get round that corner, and then I've got to squeeze up beside him. There we go. Just. Yeah, so we might not worry about doing any haymaking on this map, but we'll see how it goes. Now, how's our Deutz doing away over there? He's coming along quite nicely. I never drove an older Deutz that had a standard water cooling. Like I said, we had that air-cooled thing, and it was a horrible tractor to drive. It felt horrible, and because it was so small and compact, I don't particularly like driving the really small, compact tractors with the steep sloping bonnets. There's just something about them that doesn't appeal to me on a personal nature. I know I'm not knocking anyone that does like them, but for me personally, it just doesn't... I don't get the feel of a tractor under me when you've got that really steep sloping bonnet. It just doesn't feel quite right. I've driven all sorts of tractors, and those are probably my least... The ones that I like the least, apart from... Yeah, that air-cooled Deutz was the steep-sloping bonnet, but, I mean, it was also a front-loader tractor, and as you already know, as I've said many times, I don't like front-loader tractors. I don't like using a front-loader on a tractor. I just don't like them at all. I don't get on with them. I don't like the way they feel when you're trying to operate. I don't think that they've got very much manoeuvrability. I just don't like them at all. I would far rather... If I had a choice between a new tractor with a front loader on it or a really old, clapped-out telehandler with just the old rear wheel steer and not even the four-wheel steer, I would still choose the telehandler. And I have done in the past, because I dislike front loaders on tractors that much. The visibility is absolutely atrocious, so on and so forth. And that air-cooled Deutz that I used to have to drive was also a front-loader tractor, so I had to use it for doing front-loader operations as well as just being an uncomfortable tractor to drive. So my memories and associations with old Duetz-Fahr tractors, not necessarily the best. But of course the new ones that I've seen in this game, that's a different kettle of fish. That is different entirely. I've seen some very snazzy-looking tractors. Anyway. I have rattled on for long enough for a minute. I'm going to go round and round until I have filled this trailer up, and then I'm going to come back to you while we go and tip this trailer out. And we may have done enough then that we could start working back and forth across the field to finish this field off. Right, well, that's once around the field, so while that one turns itself around, we've only got 5% left to go in the trailer. I'll take this trailer down and we will tip it out, and then we can come back with that one ready to go for the next load. And like I said, I will finish off the silage in that field. We've seen the whole crop header working, seen it up close, some new angles for it, and we can get on to something different in the next episode. So I'll finish it, and I will sheet this silage stack, the silage clamp down as well. So that is all ready and making, and then we'll have access to our silage as soon as possible. We will fill up the mix feeder, and then I'll see about selling a whole load of this as well, so we can get some money. We can buy the field that we want to buy, and there'll be a few. We're going to need a telehandler. We're going to need a telehandler. I know that we've got a front loader. I might actually, even though I am loath to say that I should do it, I might actually just stick with the front loader tractor that we've got. But we will need a trailer that can carry pallets around. We're going to need sort of mixed pallets and that, so that we can transport stuff around different places on the map for the beekeeping stuff. So we're going to need money for that. We're going to need money for that trailer, even if I decide to go with the tractor. Even though I dislike front loader tractors so much, I haven't done a lot with front loader tractors. So it probably, you know, maybe I should just do one map with a front loader tractor so that we can sort of see what it's like, see what the handling is like before we move off to FS17. Oh, has anyone seen the video for that? The newest video? I'm not quite sure if I mentioned it in the previous episode or not, but they've released a gameplay trailer number 2, which is all about the keeping of the pigs. You've got the different livestock trailers. The livestock trailer that goes on the lorry on that episode, that just looks absolutely fantastic. I didn't even know that livestock trailers could do that. You got this livestock trailer that opens up. How much space does that thing need to turn round? Good gravy. Right. Yeah, the top of the livestock trailer lifts up all the way round. The whole thing just lifts straight up, and then the back of the trailer will drop down, and then you load the livestock up, and then the top of the trailer slides back down. It's like some sort of futuristic spaceship. I didn't know that livestock trailers did that. The ones I've seen have just been this huge, great big metal box with a few bits that you open down the side, and you put a little bit of bedding in through for them. I've never seen anything like that. That looks absolutely incredible. I'm really looking forward to getting stuck in to, because one of the maps I'm going to sort of prioritise stock, and then the other map I'll prioritise crops. And I will do both on both maps, but I'll sort of prioritise one on one of them and then the other on the other, so that we go for the expensive machinery for crops on one of the maps and expensive machinery for stock on the other map, and that way we can sort of introduce to everything that the game's got to offer, and spread it out across all the stuff that we're doing. And I am really looking forward to getting a lorry. Although they're generic lorries, they're lizard lorries. We're not actually got... I know they look like some American trucks. You call them trucks or semis, not lorries. I have been told off for that in my time-lapse because I am in the States, so I should be calling them trucks or semis, not lorries. But here in the UK, we call them lorries. You never call them a truck. A truck is something that's smaller. So anyway, the lorry or the truck, whichever you want to call it, is a generic lizard one. They look like your Peterbilt or what's the other one? Kenworth trucks that you get over in the States. They look like those, but I'm guessing that they couldn't get the license or something for them because they're actually lizard ones, which is a little bit of a shame. I thought that was just one of those little details that I thought would have been nice if they'd been able to get the actual real thing, but we can live with it. I'm sure the modders are going to come out in droves bringing us some decent ones. So I'm not too worried about that, but we will get the lizard one, and then we get the trailer. I'm really looking forward to getting that stock trailer. That stock trailer just looks so incredible. It's like some sort of spaceship. It's brilliant. If you haven't seen it yet, go and take a look at that trailer. It is absolutely brilliant, and I mean like the gameplay trailer, not the actual trailer. You'll see the actual trailer in the trailer. Yeah, you know what I mean. Okay. What is he doing? Why does he turn like that with this machine? It just seems so weird. Why do it like that? I think this will be the last time that I go round. But anyway, I'm going to have to wrap up now. So, do you want me to buy... Right, now what are you doing? Can't make your mind up. Forward or backward? What are you going to do? There we go. Right. So, you're coming back again? What exactly what exactly are you trying to accomplish here? Right. You have gone forwards. Just a smidgen. There we go. I knew you could do it. I had complete faith in you. I never doubted you for a second. Anyway, so my question for the week. Do you want me to buy field 9? You can just see it down there. I'll bring this one up. Field 9 on the left-hand side, which is, at the moment, is full of maize. So we'll do that as silage. And we'll fill up, put some in the other clamp that we've got so that we can get a bit more for the BGA for selling. Or do you want me to buy field 12, which is grass, and that will obviously either be hay if we need to make hay, or it'll just be grass if we only need to get grass for the cattle so that we can maximise production on those. And I'm aware that you said you want to get sheep as well, so we're going to need more grass for the sheep. And I will buy those soon. I think we're going to wait until after we've done the silage and we've got some money coming in from that, and then we can buy a load of sheep. I'm not sure how many I'll get. They're 300 a piece, aren't they? So 100 sheep is going to cost me 3 grand, which actually isn't very much. No, 10 sheep would cost me 3 grand. 100 sheep would cost me 30 grand. So if I could get 300 sheep, that'd be £90,000. I'll have to have a look. We'll see how many we can get. I would like to get 300, but I might not be able to get quite that many. But anyway, so you decide which field you want me to get. The field 9 for the maize or field 12 for the grass. It's your vote. It's your game. Head down below into the comments section and let me know what you think. I will carry on and I will finish this field before the next episode, and I will make sure that the cultivating is also finished. I'll just sort of tidy up the edges, so that one will be ready to sow. We'll probably only sow the one field, because by the time we get started with wood chips and stuff like that for doing our beekeeping mod. Right, now what's he going to do? He is being a silly little devil today, isn't he? Look at him. What is he doing? What is the matter with you? Can't you just, like, go round the field in a normal fashion? And I'm gesturing at the screen again. I do this a lot. Right, he does seem to be going around the field in a normal fashion now. There we go. Right. So, yes. I will finish this field, and I'll finish that one over there. We're probably only going to sow the one field, because we're going to be concentrating on beekeeping, and I want to get moving with that as quickly as possible, because we're running out of time. But it would be nice to at least get one field planted, ready for a future harvest if we get to it. But anyway, if you've enjoyed this episode, please head down below and give me a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please go and tell your friends about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.